here's something you don't hear every day and nobody's really talking about it. Of course, the Pelicans have been eliminated from playoff contention. But one thing about Zion Williamson, I don't think anybody's really addressing or even trying to attempt to talk about much. Well, they talk about basically the signs, but not the symptom. Is Zion Williamson eating himself out of a career? You got to figure this. Zion Williamson is 6'6". He's listed as 285 pounds. In the bubble, Zion Williamson looks like he's playing at least 310 pounds. You saw when he was running back up and down the court, he didn't have conditioning. People were saying, well, he had left the bubble for a family matter. He came back, and that's why he was the way he was, panting and stuff like that. But when you look at him, he looks like an entirely different person. He has a lot of weight on him. The thing that is kind of scaring me about Zion, he's a good kid. He looks like he can play the game at a high level. It seems like he might have an unhealthy relationship with food. A lot of people keep citing the fact that he's big, he's a big guy. They're not really addressing the fact that how do you get big? By eating a lot. And I think Zion is eating a whole heck of a lot to the point where it could possibly affect his career. Now, you got to remember, there's a lot of players where it wasn't alcohol, it wasn't the drugs, it wasn't the women, it was the food that basically knocked him out of the NBA. And this goes for a lot of people. Like Antoine Walker could be one of those guys. Even though he lost a lot of that money after he got the big contract, he was one of those guys that had unhealthy relationship with food. Vin Baker is another guy. Sean Kemp is another guy. These guys that just blew up and really they couldn't hack it anymore. They came in the league athletic, and then after a while, after drinking a lot of beers, eating a lot of food, then they just became a shell of themselves. And that's something that is really scary for a Zion Williamson who already has a $90 million Nike contract. So with Zion, I think it's even better for him now, though, however, because he has that cautionary tale of, hey, don't be a Vin Baker. Don't be a Sean Kemp. Don't be these guys that get the money and blow up, before their career is even over. Try to stay in shape. Follow a healthy diet. Get you a chef. Things of that nature. But the fact that, and I know he's young, but the fact that nobody in his camp has really mentioned that to him is scary because he makes his living off his body. If his body breaks down or if he gets injured due to his weight, he'll blame nothing but himself, and everybody in the camp will blame him, but nobody will try to say hey, we should have been more responsible. And that's hurtful because you saw it in Duke and in the NBA when he first came in. All these little nagging injuries basically are coming from weight. So in order to get his weight in check, he has to essentially get the eating habits in check and get the dietary side in check. But we might be looking at a bust. And I don't mean a bust, and this is crazy. This will be the first time we'll look at a bust. It's not because of talent, not because of things that he can't do. He looks like he could do everything on the floor and then some. You think he can't shoot a three, he nails a couple in a row. You think he can't dunk, he'll dunk all over you. You think he can't finish, he finishes all over you. You think he can't switch hands, he switches hands. Rebounds pretty good. Defensively, he could pick it up, but that has to do with weight. We might be looking at the first bust in the NBA only because they like to eat. And I don't want to hear that. That's not something you want to hear. And everybody might have an unhealthy relationship with food, especially nowadays with Netflix and all the sedentary life. All the basketball courts are empty nowadays. Nobody really goes outside and stuff. But when this is your profession, you need to really dial it in and be like, hey, I need to get this weight in check. And I think Zion will eventually do it. But if he doesn't, we might be looking at the first NBA star to be a bust because of eating and weight. And I'm talking about early in your career, not late in your career or mid-career, early in the career. I mean, you saw Alvin Gentry looking at him like he couldn't even hustle up and down the court. Alvin said like this. He was just like, what is going on with the boy? So that's something we all need to keep our eyes on going forward. Now they eliminated out of playoff contention and stuff like that. What is he going to do? Is he going to go fall back into the eating, come back 325 pounds next season? Or is he going to work on his body? This is what I'm curious to see. I'm really, really curious to see this. Hoops Junction, Hoops meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.